Good morning, everyone. My name is Vipin Kumar, and welcome back to Jenkins series. In this video or in chapter, we are going to cover topic about how to manage or how to configure a Jenkins server. Before you can start creating your build job in Jenkins, you need to do a little configuration to ensure that your Jenkins server works smoothly in your particular environment. So in this chapter or video, we are going to configure Jenkins dashboard. We are going to configure system environment, global properties, installing and maintaining plugins in Jenkins, configuring a proxy setup for the Jenkins. We are going to install multiple version of JDK. We are going to configure build tools like Maven and or shell scripting. We are going to discuss about version control system and installing the Git, and we are going to configure the mail server for the notification. And at the last of this video, we are going to create a uh, 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 jobs in Jenkins. Uh, so let's start a Jenkins console. So this is a Jenkins console. In the last video, we installed the Jenkins on the Tomcat and Apache box. So this is a first screen you will see after installing the Jenkins on the Tomcat and Apache environment. So let's get the password uh, from that location. So I'm connecting the Tomcat machine where the Jenkins are running. So I'm let's get the password for the Jenkins. Okay, get okay. This is a temporary password, and let's enter here. Okay, so in this screen, you can install the plugins that is suggested by Jenkins, or you can select Jenkins as per your requirement. So I'm going to install the suggested Jenkins in this screen. It will take some time, depends on your internet connectivity. So let's wait to complete it. So you can see the Jenkins are installing some of the plugins that is required to start up the Jenkins environment. Like you can see, it is going to install the pipelines, Git, add, and email extension, and credential binding. So these are a few of the plugins are necessary to start up the Jenkins with the bare minimum configuration. And it is not like you can't install the Jenkins later on. Whenever we require to uh, install the extension or plugins, we can go ahead and install the plugins in Jenkins. Even you can update or upgrade the install the Jenkins on the environment. So let's have a wait for a couple of minutes to be completed. Okay, uh, we are going to create our first admin account. You can give the name for you can give the any name for the admin account, but I'm giving the name admin password. Okay, we require to give the email address. Admin admin. Okay, so this is our Jenkins homepage, and here we are going to configure a Jenkins for our environment. So we are going to configure multiple parameters, multiple features in Jenkins so that your environment can work smoothly. So go to manage Jenkins option, and here couple of the information, couple of the tabs are there. So the configuration system, the first one, uh, this is where you manage path of various tool you use in your build, like JDK and or Maven. uh, Security option is there, email server setting is there, and I can say this is a registry for the Jenkins environment. So we are going to configure couple of the setting here, but go back first and see other configuration, uh, other features also. This is a global security. Configure the global security. So here you can configure your Jenkins environment with your enterprise security solution, like LDAP or um, Active Directory or any security security solution you are using. You can integrate with the Jenkins. In the next video, we are going to configure Open LDAP with the Jenkins. But go back here, and the configure credential. This is going to configure your credential. So like you can use the global tool configuration to configure your JDK, Git, and Maven, Dockers, and everything. So let's go back and configure uh, systems. So first item I want to show you the Jenkins home directory. So this is a Jenkins home directory that include everything. Uh, I'm going to show you the file structure of the Jenkins, but uh, before going to file system of the Jenkins, I want to give the highlight point here. This is very important file. This is very important folder or directory where Jenkins store um, all the configuration settings, user settings, plugins, archivals, or as well as jobs. So it is a advice for the enterprises solution that we have to keep our Jenkins home directory on the shared location or NAS storage location or a high available storage location, because uh, uh, this is a key or heart of Jenkins. And uh, even in the situation where Jenkins uh, uh, box is not available or is down, you can simply move the Jenkins home directory from one server to the second server, and you can bring up Jenkins or entire Jenkins on the second node. So in coming series, we are going to demonstrate how to migrate Jenkins from one environment to the second environment, or how we can scale up or scale down Jenkins environment. So I'm going to show you how to change Jenkins home directory. Uh, uh, so you can point your Jenkins home directory based on your based on your requirement. Where do you want to keep your Jenkins home directory? So I'm going to keep my Jenkins configuration under OPT mount point. So let's see how we can how we can change and configure Jenkins home directory. Okay, so I'm connecting my Tomcat machine where Jenkins is running. So the default location of Jenkins is cd, and here ls minus lth. Okay, e. So this is a file, or this is a folder for the Jenkins. And if I go inside the Jenkins folder and ls minus lth, so here you can see users folder, keep the users information. Plugins folders, it is going to keep plugins which we installed in the Jenkins. And logs, and you can see here it is going to store your jobs, it is going to store your notes. So basically this is very important folder. And if you move the entire folder from one environment to the environment, you can bring up Jenkins very easily. So let's move this folder on more reliable and secured location. Compare this. So I am moving this folder in my OPT location. So how we can do it? First we are going to tell Jenkins, hey, I'm changing my Jenkins home directory location from here to somewhere else. So this is the best approach to um, change the Jenkins home location. So let's do it. Okay. So next step is that we have to move .jenkins folder to new location, so that we can copy all the users credentials, we can copy all the jobs, and as well as other configuration settings. So okay, sorry. Okay, cd, ls-t. Let's rename it. Okay, so uh, so far we changed the Jenkins home location in the configuration of the Jenkins, as well as we moved the Jenkins folder to different location, and now we need to start and stop the Tomcat so that Jenkins can take effect of the new changes. So let's cd opd minus 3 pin. We have here shutdown and startup. Okay, so okay, so now you can see here home directory has been changed from old location to the new location. So this is a way to change the Jenkins home directory, and you can, you can keep uh, you can give them some of the message like welcome to Jenkin, and it is going to display on the top of the screen, and you keep all the information like this, or you can keep all the default values. We are going to change these default value uh, incoming uh, session, but keep it like this way. So global property we don't require right now to change it, and you can see here uh, this is Jenkins URL we are using for the Jenkins, and you can you can configure your admin email address. This email address is going to be show on the Jenkins page if something goes wrong. So you can see here this is a GitHub information. We are not going to we are not going to configure it right away. So we are going to configure here like git plugins. So you can configure the global setting for the git here, or you can configure the global setting for the git in the separate installation, but we are not we are not giving the default configuration about the git in the here. uh, you can keep the default setting here, and we are going to configure the email notification. uh, you can use your company mail server. I'm using here Gmail mail server. So give the SMTP servers. I am having that information handy. go to in advanced, use SMTP authentication, and give the email ID, give the password, use SSL, and remember the port for the SMTP is 465. You can keep plain text or HTML. I'm using the HTML. Default recipient, you can keep default recipient you or company CTO. So I'm keeping myself here, and you can, you can add multiple email account to whom you are you want to send a notification, like this. Just keep comma. Okay, and you can leave this information. This is a very important message or important uh, things. So you can keep by default this information, and you can keep this is also by default. We are going to be configured, or we are going to be modify the message about the uh, email notification when we are going to create pipeline jobs. But for now, keep it like this. So let's apply it, and we are good to go in the second options. So go to here and configure global security. So we are not configuring any external security solution right away. Just keep it like this and go back to the uh, now we are going to configure couple of the tools that is global for this entire setup. Like we are going to have multiple JDK version on this machine for Jenkins. So just give the name uh, JDK 9.0.4, and installed automatically. And I'm saying that I need this version. You can select any of the version from the list, but let's keep the latest one, and I'm agreed. And I'm saying that install from the java.sun.com, and I'm 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 providing my Oracle account. If you don't have Oracle account, go ahead and create the Oracle account. So, uh, so what is going to be happen here? Uh, So what is going to be happen here when your build required to JDK 9.0.4, it is going to download from the Oracle and going to store in your Java home directory. So you can keep multiple JDK, like let's add one more, and this time we are going to 9.0.1 JDK JDK 9.0.1, and download. I agree, and download from here. Okay, so in that case, let's configure it. Okay, so uh, we are going to keep two version of JDK. Uh, we are going to keep two version of JDK on the same environment. You can have multiple JDK version in your environment, and uh, we are going to configure Git uh, in different way. So connect on the Tomcat environment and install the Git. So you can install the Git separately on the Jenkins machine. It is going to like Jenkins is going to pick up automatically the Git file. So you can see it has been completed. So let's go back. Let's apply it and go back here and come back again. Okay, so this is now you can see here uh, the Git has been configured in the uh, Jenkins. You can like we have installed the we already configured JDK to version 9.0.4 and 9.041. Two version we are going to keep on the Jenkins machine, and we have configured the Git, and we are going to configure and so configure it and version and point two, and we are saying that installed from the Apache. So again, whenever your build required from the pipeline, a ant is getting downloaded from the Apache and going to store in the Jenkins home directory. So ant has been installed. Okay, then we are going to add Maven. Maven Maven 3.5.2, again installed automatically, and Apache version from installed from the Apache. Okay, so you can keep multiple version or multiple copy of the Maven and or any other tools, but we are keeping only one version of the Maven and Git, and multiple version for JDK. Let's save it. Okay, so uh, we have configured the global tools configuration. Let's look at the manage plugins. So you can see here installed plugins. These plugins has been installed in our environment. Some of the plugins are configured during the installation of the Jenkins, and couple of the plugins we installed explicitly uh, on the Jenkins environment. So you can go ahead and we can see plugins like and. So you can see this plugin we installed during the configuration of the Jenkins. We can go ahead and uninstall it, and these are dependency of the plugins and depends on the end plugins. Uh, so you can see here the plugins available almost each and every product. You can go ahead and search it and install it. For example, we are going to install one of the plugins that is required for for the project wise authentication and authorization. So for example, if we search it uh, under here, available. Okay, it is available. Let's see if it is available or not. Okay, available. If it is not available, let's see something else. LDAP. Okay, so you can see all the plugins here. You can go ahead and install from here, and let me try to install something easy. Matrix strategy authorization. It should be there. Okay, let's move it. So we can install for example any of the one plugins, and we can install the plugins from here. And for example, let's install the plugins for PowerShell. Okay, so I'm going to install the PowerShell. So we can, we can for example, we can search here PowerShell. So PowerShell is here. We can say install without restart, download now, and install after restart. So I'm saying that install without restart. So it is going to install PowerShell in our environment, Jenkins environment. So it has been successfully installed, and if we click on this option, it is going to be the Jenkins is going to be installed, or Jenkins is going to be restarted. And after restarted, process completed, we can see the plugin successfully installed. Okay, Jenkins has been installed. Jenkins has been restarted. So now we can see PowerShell plugins has been uh, installed successfully. So we can see here, go to manage plugins, and we can say installed, and we can say PowerShell. So we can see here PowerShell plugins. The PowerShell plugins has been installed. Okay, so we can see here the change will take effect when you restart Jenkins. Once no jobs are running. Okay, so that is fine. And this is fine. This is a way to. So if you go to in advanced option, in the advanced option, you can configure your proxy information, because in the enterprises solution, the Jenkins are running behind the proxy environment. So you can take the proxy configuration setting from your network team, and you can configure all the things here, and you can save it. So this is for the plugins, and how to configure the proxy for your environment. So in the system information, you will see you will see all the system properties, system parameters that is configured in your Jenkins machine. This system property is going to very helpful when when we are going to configure, or when we can, or I can say we can use these parameters during the pipelines. When we are going to create a pipeline for the build a job, we are going to use all these we are going to use couple of the system properties to make enhancement, or enhancement of the pipelines. Okay, so uh, go back here, and prepare for the shutdown. So Jenkins is going to shut down. uh, 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 Basically, if if you click on this options, it look at the jobs. If there is any jobs are running, the Jenkins is wait for completion of the jobs, and then Jenkins is going to shut down. So okay, so Jenkins is going to shut down. So let's see, it is there. So Jenkins is shutting down. So let's see when it is going to shut down. Let's wait for a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, and we will come back once Jenkins uh, come up. Okay, so you can see here warning message, but you can avoid one. So we have successfully configured our Jenkins environment. So let's create uh, freestyle jobs for the testing. So go back here and click on new item, and click give the name, or I can say test, and click freestyle project. Click OK. You can see here a couple of the tab here. You can go and select individual tabs, and you can provide required information for the individual tabs. So you can see here. So let's go back test. It is my first Jenkins job, and source code management, uh, it is saying none. And if you have your code located on Git or Subvision, you can provide the information about your Git repository. For now, I'm selecting none, but in coming videos, in coming chapters, we are pulling down all the source code from the kit. So build trigger, we can say build trigger radically, and I'm saying that this jobs has to be run every 8:30 a.m. morning. So this is the way how to give the value, and you can learn more from here, like a minute, 30 minutes, hour, uh, day of month, and day of uh, week. So you can go ahead and look at the example and configure the schedule job according your requirement, according your things. But this particular job going to be triggered every day 8:30 a.m. So build environment. So we are not using any build tool or build things. It is simple one. So build step. So we are going to say use the shell script. But if it is a Windows, then we can use Windows PowerShell. Remember that we install the plugins for the PowerShell. Due to that reason, we are getting the Windows PowerShell here, but I am selecting the execute shell. So this is my simple command. Um, it is saying that when this job is going to be run, going to be install net tool and do IP config. Uh, so that is a simple things. And post build action, you can use email notification. You want to send the email notification to the recipient and other things. But for now, I am not using this option. We are going to take care incoming videos. So let's apply it, save it, and build now. So look at here, this build are getting executed, and we can see it is completed. So let's see output console. So here you can see it is run in the the workspace is there, and the first step has been completed, like yum installed and .NET tools, and the IP config value is here. So you can see here this build successfully completed. And if you go back, build history, you can see here this is a build history. And uh, so this is built, we just ran it. And uh, what we can cover here, um, I think that we have covered our topics what we discuss in the starting of videos. So far we have configured your Jenkins environment and created a first or test build job that is going to be executed every 8:30 a.m. morning, and showing some output on the console. So that's it in this video. In next video, we are going to configure the LDAP with the Jenkins, and hence please join me in the next video while we are adding, or we are configuring the Jenkins with the enterprise solution with the Open LDAP. You can use fit um, uh, uh, Active Directory, Ping Federation, or SiteMinder, but I'm using the SSO LDAP. Thank you very much to watching this video.